Zombies have become an interesting part of our pop culture. I remember the zombie craze of the late 2000s and early 2010s. I remember the boom of zombie games and media which used the hordes of undead as flesh mobs that you could murder in all sorts of creative and epic ways without any of those damn ethics getting in the way of things. And I remember, as we got into the 2010s, we saw zombie media take itself a bit more seriously and focus more on the aspect of human survival more than mowing down zombie hordes, and like that, it kind of became a rule. If you were making zombie media, what were you going to make? Something that was fun, or something with a message? Then in 2018, there came a niche little manga that asked an interesting question. What if fun was the message? Zom 100 is a manga series written by Haro Asao and illustrated by Kotaro Taka. I really hope I didn't butcher those names. Starring Akira Tendo, a 24-year-old corporate drone who works for a black company. Companies in Japan known for their exploitative and barely legal practices when it comes to the treatment of their employees. His time there wilts away at his passion for life, and he becomes someone who can only really survive day to day. That is, until a zombie apocalypse breaks out and Akira realizes that among all the horror, the fire, the collapsing of society, he doesn't have to go to work. This causes him to greet this burning world with a level of optimism that is frankly quite unsettling to other survivors, but he doesn't care. The world may be ending, but he's got his life back and he's not going to waste it. So he makes a list. 100 things to do before I become a zombie. Things like cleaning his apartment, spend the day drinking beer and watching movies, stay up all night drinking with his friends, become a superhero. There is this charm that comes from seeing him push the limits on what he can do now that he has this new freedom, this new lease on life. And he does everything with the kind of enthusiasm that makes you think, well, what would be on my list of 100 things? Comment down below some of the stuff that's on your bucket list. I want to see some dreams in that comment section. Don't be afraid to say what you want out of life. I mean, hey, I got my list right here. But it is questions like that, what would be on my bucket list, that make you consider where you are in your life, where you ought to be, how close are you to your aspirations, and whether this whole YouTube thing is worth pursuing, or maybe if Mum was right and you shouldn't trust the part of your soul that asks for anything more than the bare minimum, because true happiness is for the rich and the talented, Tom, and you are neither! Questions like this put the superpower of this manga front and center. While there is a lot of stuff to like, you got your good old-fashioned zombie killing, you got your heartwarming character interactions, you got your zombie strippers, zombie sharks, overarching mysteries, zombie sharks, character development and arcs that intersect and help each other, zombie shark. Okay, my brain won't let me move past this without putting it in the video. Seriously, look at this thing. It is a zombie shark that ate a diver, and the diver became a zombie inside of it, and now the diver is its legs. And because it's a zombie, it doesn't need water to survive, so it just runs at people. And I think that's really cool. What was I talking about? Oh yeah, the superpower of this manga, the thing that makes it the pinnacle of the zombie genre, in my opinion, is that it takes the idealized zombie fun of the 2000s and uses it to confront the cynicism of the 2010s zombie landscape. The result is then used to contrast the zombie apocalypse to the horror of modern corporate life, and I think this is demonstrated quite perfectly when early on in the series, Akira comes across his old boss. The same one that subjected him to the abuse in the workplace that made him lose his will to live. Needing medical supplies and vehicle repairs from him, Akira agrees to work for him again for just 2 days. And through that short time, we begin to see the same self-doubt and depersonalization begin to slowly seep its way back into Akira. The new Akira that had come to value life so much over the last week or so, beginning to dissolve in the face of old habits, becoming a creature that only follows basic direction and does whatever it can to survive without actually being alive. Now, why oh why does that seem familiar? Zombie stories that do stuff like this are the ones that stand out, the ones that will be remembered beyond just the gimmick. Zombies on their own usually aren't that scary anymore. Most of us in the millennial Gen Z crowd have mowed down enough of them with guns, chainsaws, and plants to not exactly get a shiver down our spine when we hear the term zombie or even see them in our media. But it's when a media uses zombies to connect us with real fear in our lives that they start to cement themselves in our culture, and I don't think that this example can be proven more than in the pinnacle of all zombie media, Shaun of the Dead.
Get higher, girl! Ah!
Shaun of the Dead isn't just an extremely funny zombie movie. Throughout the film, Shaun is constantly reminded that life is moving on without him.
At that time we stayed up all night drinking apple schnapps and playing Tekken 2.
When was that?
That was 5 years ago.
And the apocalypse in this instance is used to mirror the existential fear of being in your late 20s and life closing in on you. You can't put life off. You can't shamble through life like a zombie lest your world end around you. Eventually you're going to need to address things, and Shaun of the Dead uses literally the zombie apocalypse to convey that. He tries to put it off until it takes his comfort place, his best friend, and even his mum. Look, the movie is over 2 decades old. Time was your spoiler warning. Nonetheless, you should still watch it. My point is, this manga does something very similar. Using the boundless optimism of its cast and the crushing nihilism of what they are escaping, it exposes what makes a zombie a very scary creature. A monster that can rob you of your personhood, drain you of your ambitions, your interests, and even your ability to love, taking everything that makes you you and leaves nothing but a shambling husk that is just merely surviving. For many in the world of Zom 100, this is a worst case scenario. For many in the corporate cogs of our world, this is already a reality.
I would say really be careful about some of the black Kigyo company. A black company in Japan is like a company is gonna make you work more hours than you're supposed to, with a lot of overtime, up to 70, 80 hours a week, basically.
Policies like unpaid mandatory overtime, working on weekends and holidays, not letting people quit. I even had a company say that employees need to pay them when they miss work, no matter if it's an emergency like a train accident or a health issue. It's already bad enough to not get paid for the day. Imagine having to hand your boss a crisp $100 every time you get a flat tire. Devious. Absolutely devious.
Much like our protagonists, though, you are still human. There are still ways that you can reclaim your spark for living. Plan out the steps to reach your goals. Use what free time you have to play that old game you never finished. Reserve a Saturday to catch up with a friend you're losing touch with, or even just make a list and cross it off, one thing at a time. As impossible as it may seem, while you're still alive, you still have time to reclaim your life. You can still make your own joy. After all, you're not a zombie. You don't have to live like one. Thank you for watching. Hey guys, thank you so much for watching. Sorry this one took so long and was so far past deadline. This was meant to be a Halloween episode, but 2025 revealed toward the end of the year that it wasn't done kicking me in the balls, so that kinda got in the way of things. Either way, if you liked this video, and I really hope you did, be sure to subscribe, like, share and comment. I need all the support I can get and I would be very, very grateful. Be sure to write down what's on your list of 100 things, what's on your life bucket list. I'm actually really interested in reading what different people's lists contain. But that's all from me, guys. I really hope you enjoyed it, and I'm going to let this beautiful song, Amberlight by Scott Buckley, play you out. Have an awesome day, guys, and may life reward you for all your hard work. Peace.